do.
Okay, you got your comfort hat.
Yeah, I know. I do have my comfort hat, but I can't really wear it because I'm just a bit weird over the headphones.
All right, excellent. Well, that's excellent. Well, thanks for joining me today, Julian. I would like to introduce you.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
That's no problem.
What?
You ready?
Oh, I'm always ready.
Cool. I was just thinking about something else. Ready? Okay, you're always ready, as you said. Right.
Has the camera thrown you?
No, not really. I was all right before. I just got a muddle in that Ferrari situation. No. Right, welcome to the MotoViews Podcast, the semi-sporadic podcast about all things motoring. I'm your host, JB.
And I'm Jules.
And we are here in, I was going to call it the Bat Cave, but I think that's probably copyright, so I didn't mention that. We're in the MotoViews Cave. We need to come up with a better idea for that. And some of you early adopters of the MotoViews podcast might already aware that we've recorded in here before and other locations, but this is indeed the base, wouldn't you say?
I'd like to think we're getting there with this. It's slow progress.
All progress is slow progress.
In my world.
Especially on these UK roads, am I right? Anyway, let's get into another rant. We're not going to start the rant section just yet. But yeah, this is our MotoViews podcast. This podcast is for the normal motorist. This is just normal chat, day to day, what we get on with, what we find out, what kind of challenges we're facing, what kind of things we're thinking about, what the industry's doing today. I don't want to get into too much industry chat, but about what's the scene these days. We're both enthusiasts and collectors. Well, I'd like to be a collector of things other than Hot Wheels cars, but this is our hobby, and we like to share it with fellow hobby enthusiasts and maybe those who aren't as well. So everyone's welcome to this podcast is my point. And on that topic of being welcome to the camera.
The camera.
Exactly.
Look, it's necessary. Our listening figures for our podcast are
very good. Thank you very much.
I'm very pleased with the number of people that listen, but I'd like more. So I was thinking if we introduce it maybe into the YouTube world, we might.
I'm familiar with that platform.
We might get some crossover.
Yeah, that's good. That's excellent. So welcome to those people viewing on the YouTube channel. I hope that you enjoy this setup, and all feedback's welcome, and not always read. So bear that in mind if you really care. So what have we got coming out this episode? Well, I think it's fair to say spring has sprung and then probably sprung back and then sort of sprung again. So as you know, we normally have 4 seasons in a year, but in recent times we've been having about 8 seasons. So you've got spring, pre-spring, re-spring, and then spring. And I think at the moment we're in re-spring. So what we've gone on with the change in the seasons, finally we can get out some nice cars without fear of salt or sliding on bikes. And I'm sure I've had a few road trips. I'm sure you have too. I've been to a few car meets already. They've started to ramp up, and good few experiences already. So that's what we've got to talk about. And obviously there's some tyre chat coming up as well. Where would we be without the semi-sporadic update on tyres? So
you're sounding very professional today.
This is always me. Maybe you finally started to listen. Well done.
Yeah.
But
that'd be what it is. Oh, fuck. That's what I've been doing wrong.
Also, I'm just keep flicking to my notes here as well. Maybe is that professional? I mean, is that what I don't think this is very professional. I need to sort of sort out my lectern here. I think
this is hurriedly arranged. Let's face it. We weren't planning on being up here doing this.
I was unaware of the camera until I turned up for this recording session.
Well, hopefully that's going to last out as long as it should.
Yeah, it's good. I think we should, without further ado, let's get into what we've been up to.
So, come on, with you first. What's your? You're on a good roll. I think you should keep going. I can sit here and just listen.
Okay. Well, luckily I've got my quarter of water to keep me going. So yeah, look, man, spring has sprung. I mean, I'm a spring guy. Although I don't know what I mean by it, but I got a motorcycle. I'm a motorcycle enthusiast. I love cars. I've got cars that operate better in spring and summer conditions. So, hell, man, as soon as spring comes, I'm ready to go. I have sprung myself. I'm spring into action.
Yeah.
Any more spring references?
No.
Didn't think so. So, what I had. Normally, when the spring happens, it's like, okay, check your documents, make sure your tax, MOTs, insurance are all up to date, and then like check the status of the vehicle so you're ready to go. Because as soon as it hits, you've only got like that certain finite amount of window in the year before you run out. You've got car shows to get to, race meets to get to, other stuff to do, car journeys to have, holidays to do, and how are you going to fit that all in? So you need to be ready for spring. That's my message.
Yeah,
and
my message is slightly different.
Well, feel free to air it.
I'm getting ready for spring, and my getting ready for spring is if someone's emailed me to tell me the insurance needs doing, I do the insurance. Needs a service. Hopefully, someone's told me that as well, and I might wash the cars. Mm-hmm. It might be a little inroad into some TLC. You're much more organised than me.
I think this, obviously, since my introduction as to how busy I potentially have been, it will be no surprise that the Facebook purchased car, I should say, I've never revealed that the name of the marketplace that it was purchased on, but the marketplace purchased Mercedes CLK 320 has got not much love over the past month or two, given the fact I've been busy doing these other things. Needless to say, it's just been ferrying me from place to place, and it did get a car wash after 6 months.
Nice.
Not being washed. Yeah, new car. It drives better. It looks great. The colour, it's just brilliant. That German saloon dark blue with the blue tint window, and the wheels are in good condition, bar the scrapes that I've previously talked about. It just looks really good.
It's a depth of colour in that car.
It's a really good depth of colour. You can really see the scratches sometimes as well, and the touch-up paint, which has been badly done. But apart from all of that, the majority of it looks really good.
Yeah, I have to say.
There was something I got from the car wash though, because yes, I went through a roller car wash because I can. It's a £2,000 car. I think that value might change every time I mention it, but yeah, it's a cheap car. So I'm going to put it through a roller car wash because it's easy, and I love washing. And, I'll get onto that maybe later when I talk about washing my bike. But stand by, listener.
Your life is full of excitement.
It is. But the Mercedes went through the roller wash, looked great, looked fantastic, and then I've got some water ingress on the passenger pillar. It's wet, so yeah, probably coming through the sunroof. That was a recall on that car about the sunroof glass as well, so I probably should have done that recall.
Okay, you've not done that yet?
No, yeah, I've got time to do that. No, I've not. Not got time to do things like that. Oh. But, that can be done. Maybe I'd do that when I'm driving one of the other vehicles that I'm operating at this time. So, yeah, the Mercedes.
But that comes back to spring, doesn't it? Because it would be easier if you know that you can take one of your other vehicles out, both of which are spring, summer orientated.
Exactly.
So it does. We're back on track. We're all the way back round to spring.
We are never not off track. So the Mercedes, I said it didn't get much of an outing, but it did because the inaugural road trip of the year was a road trip to North Devon. Plan was motorcycle, as always.
Yeah. Option
1 is motorcycle in most sort of questions of my life. But for this particular journey, I wanted to motorcycle. And I had a few things to sort out before that. The motorcycle's been in storage, external storage, for a couple of months over the winter. So I had to go and look at it, sort it out, get my access key to the storage unit and what have you. But unfortunately, on that particular weekend was re-spring, so it was wet again and not looking great. Forecast was unpleasant, and I think it was that weekend where Devon had snow as well, so the bike wasn't looking great as an option for that journey, which is a shame. So I opted to take the Mercedes to do the journey in that, and yeah, it was ultimately the right thing to do. The 5-hour journey took 7 hours because I left on one of the most popular driving days, and I left at a bad time as well because I had to do all this pre-departure stuff at the storage unit. But anyway, my 5-hour trip was 7 hours, but the Mercedes was faultless as always, and it's a pleasant place to be, although I didn't have enough sweets in the car. Well, in fact, all I had was sweets, which is not great for an adult. But anyway, There we go. That's a road trip I've enjoyed. One good tip.
How was your Norfolk run? Was that in the car?
So yeah, okay. So Norfolk Run was the inaugural, that's going to be said a lot in this podcast, inaugural outing of the TVR. So the plan for the TVR, my pre-departure checks were new battery required, standard, and new tyres. I was on 14-year-old tyres, which were pretty much like rocks. So I had to get them changed, and so I booked in a battery. Unfortunately the battery didn't take a jump pack, so I had to order a new battery on special order, which arrived just at the same time, as the same day as the tyres, which was the same day of my departure. So I put the battery into the car, which is always fun in a TVR. It's a 1997 Chimera. So they have a fiberglass battery box in the footwell, and the battery box is pretty tight to the battery. So trying to get the old battery out is, you've got to try and get your fingers around the side of the batteries in the fiberglass box and kind of wiggle it out a bit. Yeah, I'm sure there's a tip out there, but there isn't one so far. The only tip is sort of grow extra skin over your knuckles, because that will be coming off. So after that,
I have videoed you start to take the battery out, and I stopped just to avoid being sworn at, because it clearly was not a swift and easy process.
It's not, no, but it looks fine. My only issue there was that when I took it all off and went to put it back, there were more wires hanging down that looked like they should go on the battery, and I suddenly forgotten what went where on which terminal. So I had to make a quick call to Taylor TVR. Dan is a lifesaver and a legend, as previously mentioned, and he just he sent him a picture, and he said, put those there, and the thing fired up beautifully. So I took the rubbish tyres on the car with the rubbish tyres onto the garage to get my new tyres fitted. Went Lux on the tyres. I bought the Toyo Proxys, and I went up to the max size I can do them on the front and rears. So I've gone up from 205 to 225 on the front, and from 225 to 245 on the rear. Yeah. It's interesting. The first drive out from there, as the tyres were bedding in, the thing was all over the shop. Given the new front tyres were so wide, it was really tracking quite a bit. But I was going up to Norfolk, so it's a long old drive, 3.5 hours, and after about an hour, the tyres had bedded in a bit more, and it was getting a lot nicer, and just the road comfort, the quietness, and everything. Say the quietness in a TVR Chimera, there's not much in terms of quietness in there.
So the run up to Norfolk. Yes. So this is in the UK, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If I remember rightly, it used to be like the A12 ran all the way up, and it was just single lane. If you got caught behind something, is it still the same? Have they done anything to access Norfolk more easily?
No, and there's a good reason for that. Sorry to anyone who lives in Norfolk, but the A12 is one way you can go. The UK road network's not great at the best of times anyway, especially not now after there's been so much. The roads are in bad condition as well. But the A12 is a route you could take, but given that, you don't really want to be taking that route. If there's nothing on it and there's no speed limits, you can probably get there pretty quickly. But however, there's always going to be bad traffic on it. So as you said, it's single lane. It's not a great vibe. So the standard easy route is to M25, M11, A11, A14, or 14 and 11. I can't get those around the right way. To Norwich, Ring Road, Norwich. Give a bit of do the Norwich Ring. Any other ring references?
Again, no.
Okay, good. Just skip on that, and then and then up to the north coast after that.
I mean, what's that journey time? You said about 3 hours.
3.5 hours, but with an extra hour trying to get out of London, because that was a nightmare as well. As a Friday afternoon, 5 o'clock, and it was just logjam wherever I went. So, it was a bit of an issue, but so it took me 4.5 hours instead of the 3.5, but. It wasn't too bad. I was in the TV. I coped perfectly well in those conditions. The cooling system's mega in that car. I had the radiator record about 10 years ago as well. So the radiator's pretty much brand new. I've not done many miles on that. I've got a brand new water pump on there as well. Because that's the only thing that's failed on me in my 20 years of having that car. So it's it's in tip-top condition. Handled the traffic very well, very well. And when it's warm, that car, obviously there's loads of things happen when it's warm, but when it's warmed up, that car is sensational. But also the other thing is when it's warm is that all of the heat comes through onto your legs, so
yeah.
it's pretty effing hot. But yeah, luckily it was a version of Spring whereby, you know, it's spring now as it is just, it's the 28th of April today, and it's 9 degrees outside. I mean,
and it's only just stopped raining.
What the F? Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, I'm happy with the tyres. The tyres have been great. I cannot wait to go out in it again. I did go out in it a few weeks after on a bit more of on another jaunt, but I'll get onto that in a minute because you have a tyre update. Do you not?
I do, yeah. Yeah, ouch. Yeah, I do. So
let me actually add to a bit of this as well. So my Proxys, I had to get 4 new tyres, rears and fronts, different sizes. So the rears were 200 £200 each, and the fronts were 170 each.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. It's just more than I think. No, maybe they were. I think they were. What am I thinking of? I'm sure it was just under 600 all in, so that doesn't equate. Anyway, it's just under £600 all in. Tell us what happened.
Just over £2,000 all in.
Some people may not be, sort of be familiar with that.
After 7 months.
Price. There's no build up here, is there?
No, I'm just giving you that.
Hard, massive, heavy, in your face facts.
Massive costs. Absolutely massive costs. So
£2,000, 7 months. That's just, that was delivered quite fast. So just let that settle in for people here. Let it land.
And then we'll come back to the car. And
that's £2,000.
Yeah.
For so each corner was £500 a tyre.
No.
Okay.
So it was over 2K. So the fronts were 480, and the rears 670.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, and the car had worn its tyres down really evenly, which is a good thing. But when you've got to replace all the tyres in one hit, that hurt a lot.
That's 4-wheel drive, right? Is it 4-wheel drive? It is, isn't it?
4-wheel drive, yeah. So it's twin motor.
Twin motor, and that should give you a little clue there as to the vehicle that it's on. Yeah. And how much does the vehicle weigh?
A couple of elephants and some more. I mean, what is it?
Yeah.
Over 2.5 tons.
So 4-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive. Very heavy.
Yes.
We're gonna incur some tyre wear here, right?
Yes.
UK roads, not straight, need to do bends, therefore wear required. And probably fair to say that there's probably some torques going through those tyres as well.
Yeah. So enthusiastic driver. I'm not the driver.
No.
But an enthusiastic driver around the lanes. Yeah. And in a car that, likes to put its power down.
So we should say right now, it's
Lotus Electra.
It's the Lotus Electra. Yeah. So the Electra R had some slight controversy about the amount of electricity it uses per mile, but that's really whatever. But now adding to that kind of running cost is this tyre wear. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how this new set goes now that we've familiarised ourselves with the Lotus and how it runs. Yeah. Will they last a bit more? And so 7 months. So when did that come in? October or September?
October. So it was end of October. So I'm interested to see. I want to see how it runs over the summer months. See what the tyres do then. With the ground's a bit warmer. So whether it'll actually take more out the tyres or not, I don't know. But that's a big expense. I mean, it's a company car, so I suppose you don't flinch quite the same way as when it comes out your own pocket. But ultimately, it's still coming out of my pocket.
So what were they? They were what brand?
Pirellis.
Pirelli, and they're specific Lotus. Tyres for that car.
Yeah, there are other things you can opt onto there, but for the time being, just sticking with the OE fitting until there's more people to put more types of tyre on, and then I'll go to the forums and start listening to people on there.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not you'll be able to get any from the forums because they're EV tyre, those ones that you've got on there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what makes an EV tyre. I know obviously you can have economical tyres, whether or not economical and EV, that whether or not that Lotus Electra is an economical EV, which is the fun EV, but it has EV tyres. So whether or not they're EV tyres constructed so that it takes the weight and the performance, maybe the 7 months is optimum.
I think by the time you get into a tyre of that size, I mean you're going to be looking at, it's going to be a Range Rover type tyre you're going to have to put on there. So that tyre is already dealing with a hefty amount of weight. So you'd think that
it's just the performance then.
Yeah. But we'll see. I'm not overly worried about it personally, but other than over $2,000 in 7 months is.
So we're talking $4,000 in a year almost.
It means the running costs, if we have to replace them roughly twice a year, it does suddenly make the running cost of the car start sitting up there around $5,000 a year, or just and that's or let's say it's $10,000 every 3 years. Well, that's not
an average petrol budget is around $300 a month as well. So if you look at that.
Yeah, I know that we did a little test for mileage to see so comparing what it did versus what the range said. It was 5 miles out. So it was a relatively warm day. So it was up towards the 18s, I think, temperature-wise. Yeah. It was a spring day.
Oh, one of those rare things.
Yeah. The sun was out and everything. So, we were, because it'd been awful over the winter, been really bad. I mean,
what had been the energy?
Essentially it was telling you had 200 miles and there's no way we'd have got more than 150 out of it. We were losing loads. So it was good to then do another run on a different day and go, well, actually, this is near as damn it. This is what it says. But that inconsistency though is the issue. Yeah.
Well, it's environmental, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So you need to learn enough about your car to know that when you get in and it's a bit chilly,
25%,
you're not going to get the miles. Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, that's right. So, what was there's the latest EV is the MG Cyberster. Have you seen that?
Is that the 2-seater sports car?
Correct.
I did see that. I haven't seen it moving. Last time I mentioned to you, I said, the first to market, and you went, well, yeah, but what about the Tesla, Sportster and everything else?
Wow. Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
But no, they are first to market. I don't know why I said that then, because they are first to launch it.
But MG for, for an everyday.
So it's about $50,000, I reckon it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's meant to be quite good as well. About 360 horsepower. Yeah. And it's got scissor doors.
Nice.
Yeah. I think that's scissor or dihedral. I can't remember the right definition, but yeah, it looks pretty. It looks like it's good fun.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, it'll be good when it comes here. I don't know when it's going to come here, but it's in China now. So what was the other thing I was going to mention was the tyre trip, TVR.
Yeah.
So I had a weekend where I did bike Saturday, car Sunday. I talk about a bike Saturday now, in fact. So I was waiting for another springy day, and there was rumour that the weekend was going to be springy. So okay, let's plan bike. So best day is Saturday. Let's do bike Saturday, and so contacted a friend of the podcast to get together. No, it's starting.
I don't understand that. Unless it breaks it down into chunks and it's just doing its next chunk.
It starts.
Yeah, maybe. Well, let's get going. Let's hope it works.
So bike Saturday. Ordered up a PAL. And...
ordered up a PAL.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good. Yeah.
Your PAL will be ready. And arranged a meet up. And then I had also downloaded an app called Calimoto. Now, this was also featured on someone else's YouTube video, and from that, I figured, actually, let's have a look at that. It looks quite good. And So I downloaded it, free trial, lovely. Obviously, forgot about the free trial. I've now been charged for the whole year subscription. Fuck. Anyway, downloaded that, met the pal, and then we were going to go to the Sammy Miller Motorcycle Museum down in Hampshire. But by the time we met up, the timing was going to make it really tight to get down there and back. So in the end, I decided to just go to the new Caffeine and Machine in Petersfield. I think that's the nearest place.
Okay.
Down in Hampshire. So I booked in some tickets for us for Caffeine and Machine because you have to book the car park. Although, not sure why, because it was not busy when I went there. But by the by, it probably will be because it only been open for a couple of weeks at that point. And we know the one up in Northamptonshire, or whatever it is, that one is extremely busy.
Rams all the time, yeah.
Yeah. So so headed on down to there with the Calimoto app. I got us beyond a few towns into the West Sussex and Hampshire sort of Surrey border area, and then put the app on to do some lanes. So the app just basically, you can select what kind of lanes you need or you like switchbacks or just like twisty, scenic, and then it will give you a route to your destination. So this route was like double the amount of time it's going to take us if we were going to take the direct route. So clearly it was pretty good. And so I was following it with a sat nav in the helmet, listening to the instructions, and it took us down some really good lanes, just like small B roads, not really rubbish B roads, which B roads are really small roads here in the UK, which can be one step above farm tracks, which aren't pleasant. But these were really nice roads. Some with really great bends, great seat. Some of them had traffic on, so a bit of a bummer. But we're doing those for about an hour. Then I was getting some groans from Pal behind.
So tell me, what bikes?
So I was on the KTM 1290 Super Adventure S.
Yeah,
and
Pal?
Pal was on the old S1000 RR from BMW, which it's 2018, I think it is. So yes, I mean, I did think when we're going around these lanes, it's probably not ideal to be on a 1000cc superbike around here, because knowing I have many years on that on a similar bike, and going around those lanes, it's not great, but figured we'd carry on. But then then the order came through to pull over because the aches were getting a bit too much, which is quite understandable. I was obviously on the 1290 Super Adventure S, I was fine, but we had a little.
So your armchair was still nice and comfy. Yeah,
we had an ache brake, and then we I offered to say drive the KTM for the rest of the way to Caffeine and Machine. So we agreed to swap, and I remounted a super bike, which I haven't done for a couple of years, and I am flabbergasted how I ever rode one and how people still ride them today. I mean, the amount, it's like you have to origami yourself back onto this thing, and you are like, it's like mounting a pig. Ask ex-prime ministers about that, but it's so, I'm doing that, because it feels like I don't know what I'm doing, trying to do here, explain how to sit on a sports bike, but it's just ridiculous. It's just so small, and I was like, and like off you go, and it's like, wow, my god, this is fast, and it's all wristy as well. And it's like,
well, it's the only driving position where you're already in the fetal position when you start.
Yeah,
that's the
a fetus with aching wrists. So I drove that for the next 45 minutes down to the Caffeine and Machine, and where I think we all both deserved a hearty lunch and a sugary beverage. Yeah. And so we looked around the car park, Caffeine and Machine. Not much was there at that time. A few small K cars, a nice old Celica, Gen 1 Celica, McLaren, whatever, 450S 22. I don't care. And
Gen 1 Celica. That's
precisely what a gem. So that was nice. And then we decided to go opposite to popular biker haunts Loomis, which is was much more exciting for bikes, and quite a good selection there as well. Got chatting to one of a young crop of riders. When we were in Caffeine and Machine, we were talking about how accessible bikes are for young people. Are there enough young people on bikes? I'm saying yes, there is. Bikes are great. My pal was saying, well, I don't think so. But ironically, at that point, when we were talking about it in Caffeine and Machine, two old boys walked in, and we sort of made comment to those. But when we went to Lumire's, we bumped into some young kids who were there talking, and these guys were, fervently. That came out naturally, fervently, but I think that's the word. Vibrantly, let's say, talking about their bikes.
Fervently would be correct, yeah.
And so they were really enthusiastic about them, telling us about, oh yeah, you've got it, I wanted this, wanted that. Because obviously at that point we're now trying to buy a new bike for Pal because he needs to get something a bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
So
Pal's remembered he's over 50 now,
and we're doing shopping. We're essentially doing shopping around here. So we got, we're looking around his car park. Yep, that's probably good for you there. That's got a lot of pulse power still, a bit more upright, comfier seat. So yeah, that was a great fun time. And on the way back, we decided to remount our own steeds for the journey home. So I was back on the KTM, thankfully, and only like a couple of miles out, we decided to take the more direct route back. And I think only about half an hour into the return, it started to rain. So yeah, it's never great on a motorbike when it rains, but
better on your bike than it would be on a sports bike.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Well, your weight's in all the wrong places.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't inspire too much confidence. So yeah, we sort of rode the last of it back in those conditions, which it was all right because it made that we weren't
going nuts.
Yeah, not that we go nuts anyway, but we're just being super careful and stuff, and we took the motorway for a bit as well, so it was really, really quite easy going. But yeah, it sort of stopped and started to dry out by the end of it, and yeah, it was good fun. So good to get back out on the bike, even though it was a bit of a bummer kind of weather-wise on the way home. But that was it. I got back to the storage unit and just quickly toweled off the most of the bike, and had to leave the wheel and the swinging arm for a next deep clean, which was done yesterday.
It's interesting what you say about youngsters on bikes, because I went to a Kent car meet. Oh, if only I could remember exactly who it was, I'd give him a shout out. But yeah, that was interesting. So I ended up chatting to this young lad. He's I think he's 19 years old. He's on his second car. We were talking. His dad was down there with his dad. He'd driven, and his dad had come with him. So his dad has got a Taycan.
That's unfortunate.
And
his own business.
Exactly. That's why he has got the Taycan, because of the tax breaks on it. But his son is still a fervent petrol head, and
nice. Double.
Yeah, and he's paying something ridiculous like $3,000 for his BMW 1 Series that he's insuring himself on. But real passion there, and there's quite a few youngsters there with nice, tastefully, not necessarily modded cars, but not as in
not max power modded, as you might be misled to believe when you say modded.
As in, I've got an old BMW and I'm going to make it look really nice.
Great,
nice. Yeah,
that's a good revolution.
Yeah, and then there was the usuals. There was a few Ferraris and stuff there with the older folk. But it was
Where was
it had a nice atmosphere. We ran down, so we met up on a junction down the M2. And then we headed on down to a RAF museum, Spitfire Museum. So went down there. That was quite a revelation.
How many cars do you think?
There's got to have been about 30 cars
wow,
there.
It's quite a lot.
Yeah. It was...
How did you find out about the meet?
Insta. Popped up on Instagram. Yeah. So
from who? Whose handle?
Sorry?
Whose handle? Who posted that? You remember?
It was actually the event. It was the actual event itself. So, like I say, Kent Car Meets, I think it's called.
Kent Car Meets. Okay.
Kent Car Meets. It was nice.
I'm writing that down. Well, I'm not writing that down. You can see that, but I'm writing it down here.
Yeah, I'll let you know next time we have a little drive out. But I've never done a car meet where I haven't just gone to the end location. Where you just get there and everyone's already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, to join them midway and drive down. There's some people spitting. There's some people driving exceptionally
unexceptional,
exceptionally spiritedly. Yeah, there was one guy in what was an old Triumph Dolomite, which he'd got a Honda VTEC engine in.
Wow.
And that went like stink. Absolutely, it was great. The guy was driving it like a little bit of a dick, I suppose some people might say.
Sure.
I thought excitedly. Yeah, but lovely car. Yeah, nice. He was very proud.
Well, I mean, when we go to car meets like this, it's always good fun. You don't know what you're going to see in terms of machines. Don't know who you're going to meet. Don't know where you're going to go. So there's a lot of things to think about when you're going, and a lot of things to get excited about. But don't forget, you're part of it as well. What did you go in?
I went in the Morgan.
The Morgan. So this is a Morgan Plus 6.
Yes.
2022.
3. Yes.
Thank you. And for those of you who don't know, it's in amethyst.
Yeah, Porsche amethyst.
Porsche amethyst purple.
Yeah.
And it sounds really good. So
matte silver hard top roof.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's the wheels are? They look like steels, don't they? But they're not.
Pepper pot wheels. So they look a bit. Actually, they look a bit like a Formula One wheel, completely flat disc.
Wow. Okay.
Easy to clean.
Okay.
Don't get wire wheels.
Change them in. Oh no, you mustn't get the wire wheels. No.
Don't do
great. So you went down in that. How was the feedback from the group on your Morgan?
It was too bloody cold for anybody to stand outside for any length of time. So when we arrived at the cafe, most of us bundled into the cafe. People in their own. It was quite groupy. Nice.
I'm back.
So it was quite groupy. So it was difficult to get in and chat with other people. And because it was so cold, people weren't hanging out outside around their cars. And if it had been like that, I suppose probably a bit more chat would have happened. Yeah, I mean, yes, I got more feedback. I stuck some stuff on Instagram and obviously linked into the group on that. I got more feedback from that saying they'd seen it and they were surprised. Well, one guy was really quite surprised how blisteringly fast it is.
Yeah, well, it is a BMW 6-cylinder turbocharged engine in a car that doesn't weigh more than
my shoe.
Wow.
A little bit more.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So I went to a car meet that I've always been wanting to go to.
Oh yeah, what's that?
It's called the Southside Hustle. Now, enthusiasts will probably be well aware of the Hustle's work, but it's taken off over the past year.
The location of the Southside Hustle is
following the death of a certain individual, but it's a huge event now, which is held the first Sunday of every month. I think that might be wrong. Fact check, pre-edit, post-edit, fact check there.
I'll drop it in.
But yeah, it's on every first Sunday of every month, possibly at Wimbledon Common. Obviously, it's quite a big place, but if you just look up at Southside Hustle Car Meet on Instagram, you'll see it.
And do you remember who's it was in memory of? It started.
No, that's why I skipped over that.
Okay.
So I didn't want to.
I'll tell you what. I'll do a little bit of research and drop some stuff in.
Yeah, I think
now.
Okay, cool. So like Dues Customs, but I didn't want to talk about that too much because I don't really know too much about that. So leave it. So that was something I always wanted to go to, and I had the time, and it's amazing that it was on that day. So it was on a Sunday morning, which is also great because the TVR is stored in central London, and those of you who, if you know, it's great. If you don't know, then allow me to inform you. But in central London, you can't drive a car that is not older than 2006 if it's petrol, or 2016 if it's a diesel, because of the emissions regulations. So, but that's not to say you can't drive it. You can drive it, but you just have to pay to drive it in London. But that's not the actual benefit of Sunday morning meet. The Sunday morning meet, also another crime in London is the congestion charge, which isn't effective during Sunday mornings. So the congestion charge is a zone in the central of London, which if you drive through it, you have to pay, I don't know, £20. So £12 for the emissions charge, £20 for the congestion charge. You know, you can ramp up. So fortunately, on that day, I just paid the £12 for the emissions situation to appease the government there, so I can pay to suffocate people instead of just doing it for free. Yeah, and. But it was great. So I left East London. The car's in East London. The meet's in Wimbledon, West London, famously, just out the back of the tennis area. And so it was a lovely 8 a.m. ride rumble in the TVR, and because it's a rumble as well, because also another great motoring benefit of London is that it's 20 miles an hour across the whole of London. So yeah, basically it was roof off, second gear, all the way over from East London to West London. It took about 44 minutes, but anyway, it was a nice morning. It was particularly blue sky, sunny, roof off. So yeah, it was just cruising along, really good, no traffic as well, until I got to Wimbledon and the location, because my there are some significantly interesting vehicles at this meet.
Yeah,
really interesting. I posted some on my Instagram. You can go there and check them out. But there's things you never see before. One of ones, one of tens, and just incredibly rare stuff. And incredibly interesting stuff as well.
Stuff. Like, how was it to park?
So
the journey.
So the vibe is, it's basically you just park anywhere on the side of the common or anywhere around all of the roads around, because it's all residential around there. So you can just park wherever you can find a spot. Yeah. So basically, you can be, if you park a kilometre away, you could be walking down streets, walking past a Lotus Elan. Next to a Porsche 968, next to a Mini Cooper from the 70s, next to a Lamborghini Diablo. It's just mind-blowingly eclectic to be seeing such a collection ramped up along what is just an ordinary suburban living area. What's that called?
A residential area.
Residential area, thank you. So that's just crazy. But then everyone's just walking around as well. So when you get to the common bit, everyone's walking around and down into Wimbledon Village. That's obviously like, over expensive baked goods and a coffee guy. So great for business there. But yeah, it's just a thoroughly refreshing scene as well, because there's, it's a London scene, so there's lots of people there, and lots of like different gangs are there, lots of different people with their own Insta followers are there. It's just a great meet up. It's a celebration of everything car as well. There was super old pre-war things to the big Lamborghini.
Big Lamborghini?
Yeah, not the Huracan. No, the modern
Aventador.
One. Yes, thank you. I was thinking of the new one, Rivalto, but it's not it. That wasn't there, but
the Rivalto.
That would have been interesting. I quite look at the look of that one. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Aventador, but not a fan of modern things anyway. But well, not too many modern things anyway. Not to say I wouldn't take one if you were to give me one.
Yeah, absolutely. If what you're just saying, if I want to give you one, you'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Oh my God. of all the ones you jump on. So yeah, that was a great meet in the TVR as well. And then because I'd paid my £12.50 for the day to have the car out, I thought I'd
make the most of it.
Go on a big Giro and end up going down into Surrey, and I went to Box Hill to go to Roots Biker meet up at Riker's Cafe, which was a classic biker situation where you have people in their leathers with a hoodie over the top, and people with crash helmets on with like a Muppet hood thing on it. Yeah. People with far too atrociously ugly modified Gen 1 R1s, and it was excellent. Loved it. That's good community there as well. That was really good. You see people turning up, 3 or 4, 5, 6 people at a time, coming into their little gangs and just sort of standing around chatting. It's just great.
What I like is the fact that every time I've been there, the police are always there as well. Bike police doing those induction things with other bikers. And they're so into their bikes.
Of course.
They're going around just yakking away. About
We're bikers too,
Yeah. They
can't forget that.
Really, really into it, which is nice. Mm. Very community.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's one of the best things about bikes is the community. I mean, I want to say it's one of the best things. I think it's probably about number 5, maybe 6. Because obviously the best thing about bikes are bikes themselves.
Yeah.
And the freedom. But if you ever want to know that definition, I think the Keanu Reeves clip about what it like to ride a motorcycle, I think that's probably the most accurate description of that one. Probably drop that in there as well on the podcast edit.
Yeah.
For me, it's the visceral quality of it, the vibration, the wind, the sound, and then it's just really a great place to think, to feel, to get away. You know, when I don't ride a motorcycle, I go through withdrawal. It's not good for my health.
Thanks, Keanu.
I haven't. Have I seen it? I obviously haven't. We're dropping it in, so it's fine.
And you would have seen it now. So thank you very much, Keanu.
Yeah, indeed.
So I've done the Southside Hustle, been on some good rides, tried to go out for a ride this weekend, but unfortunately I was sprung out of that one and I wasn't able to go. I popped out on the bike briefly just to get a few bits and go to see if I could get some new boots. I could get some new boots, but I figured that the bank balance could do without that right now.
No way.
So I've marked them down. I'll get them when the balance is back. And then, sorry about that. Then I bought a battery conditioner as well, so I can plug my battery in when it's in the storage unit, so you can just get plugged into a trickle charge. So then I went back to the storage unit and and detailed the bike, gave it a proper jet wash, and then detailed it all off, and it looks great. But the problem with that KTM is the swinging arms all cut out as well, so there's all
Bits to get inside.
bits getting inside. It's nightmares. You know, I've had that long wet ride, and it's just crud everywhere. Washing your car, Paul. Any Fast Show fans out there? But yeah, so I think pretty much up to speed with what I've been up to. And
What about forward plans? Have you got anything in the pipeline?
well, no. MotoGP. I've got a MotoGP ticket, which I will be looking forward to seeing. And then I really just want to be riding all the time, as always. Is my life. I want to ride more. I think the next I need to the car needs a journey, so I will try and get the car out on a journey. I might do an evening drive, but that's £12. Don't forget, every time I get it out. Whatever, £12. So yeah, no, I don't think I have any actual plans right now. I know that when I do have a free moment, I'll be looking up to see what's on, and I'll be going to see some of those. If not, just riding. You know, if I have a whole weekend, I'll do an overnight. Maybe go somewhere in the UK.
So your whole thing about Spring is it's like the rider's nightmare. I've been... So my bike's sat in the garage and it's on tyres that couldn't get any slicker without being illegal for the road.
Yeah.
And I'm looking outside and going, do I want my first ride of the year to be one where I'm possibly tiptoeing around, you know, trying to make sure I got enough heat in my tyres to keep me upright-ish, you know, or at all the right angles. Yeah, because it's just so damp, and the road surface is. Sorry, I just want to ride, and it's not possible to ride at the moment on my bike and feel comfortable. I want to go out and enjoy myself.
Okay.
Hang on. I want to go out and be able to do all the things that I want to do and not be restricted by the weather. I think that's more what I want to say.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, unfortunately, the restrictions are there, but
yeah, at the moment,
you know,
pick your days.
yeah. I mean,
There's been a couple.
I had an hour yesterday. That was good. I timed that to perfection yesterday.
Yeah,
I got home. I got back to the unit, cleaned it, and then left. And just as I was leaving, it started to spit a spatter with rain. So perfect timing.
yeah. See, last weekend I feel like I got it right, but
You went on the bike.
It was a long drive. Yeah.
Just yeah. I mean, it's a shame it's been raining all morning because now it's finally brightening up.
It's typical. Yeah, it's typical.
Pain in the arse, this country.
It's meant to be nice tomorrow.
All right, well there you go. Get yourself out on two wheels then.
Well, yeah, but I want.
Anyway, let's open up this chest of excuses. Let's get another one out.
Yeah.
You got a bit of a cough, have you? Can't make it out.
No one.
Just get out on your bike.
Yeah, no, I'm going out the Morgan. I want to do some videoing. I want to get the drone up, so I've been checking out some drone tips. So I want to, see if I can.
Well, we will be critiquing your next
master
video for your drone action.
Yeah, my Morgan followers are very kind. They're very nice people. They always say very complimentary things, even when I know the filming is below par.
Yeah. Yeah, you can achieve some really good things with the drone, especially modern ones with all the tracking and self-leveling.
Yeah, that's
that.
the stuff I'm going to start messing around with.
We really need to. It'd be really good to see. Well, good luck with those.
Just got to find a good location. That's.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It depends on what drone tricks I want to do.
Okay.
Obviously, if I'm on my own, most of them are going to have to be static, or the car, static. The car being static and the drone going around it. Because if I'm driving, really, it needs to have someone piloting the drone outside of the car, as opposed to trying to do it whilst I'm in the car and driving. It's not really the right thing to do. Even if you do the follow me mode, you should really still be in sight of and control of your drone. So I'll be asking you to drive the car at some point.
Yeah, perfect. Maybe after this. Okay, great. So what more? Do you have anything more?
I've got a track day coming out.
Have you?
Yeah.
No way.
Another Morgan thing. So
okay, really embracing this Morgan vibe.
Well, yeah, I need to really. I mean, I keep saying how great the car is, but I don't really know its limitations. So I'd like to go on track just so I can push it a little bit further and see how it feels and know there's no traffic coming in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I'm looking forward to that. That's with Brands Hatch Morgan. They're one of the dealerships.
Yeah. So that's the point. Yeah. There's a Morgan dealership nearby to Brands Hatch. They're called Brands Hatch Morgan. It's not like
it's not a link to Brands Hatch.
Brands Hatch Circuit. Although
it's not circuit? MSV, isn't it?
Yeah.
Own brands.
But it is at Brands Hatch.
It's not at Brands Hatch.
Oh, isn't
it's down
it?
in Borough Green. No, I think they must have been at Brands at some point.
The track day.
Is No, it's a Goodwood. Okay, to make this slightly more complicated. Okay.
Or easy to understand.
Brands Hatch Morgan
Yeah.
are doing a track. Brands Hatch Morgan, which are a dealership that aren't based in Brands Hatch, they're based in Borough Green.
Yeah.
They're doing a track day at Goodwood.
Right. Okay. Right.
In
Now
May.
we've got
A
it.
few places left.
Okay.
Apparently.
All right. Well, I'll get you Morgan down there. Is it Morgan only? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Morgan. Yeah. So I'm going to see if I can lower the average age.
What corner is the picnic stop at?
Well, this is it. I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm sure I was thinking about ordering up specially one of those luggage racks for the back of my car, so I could pop a basket on the top.
Yep. The Sparco one.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. The one which is faired to give you extra aerodynamics over your picnic basket or your luggage rack.
What time is Noddy turning up?
I don't know. Booked in. I understand. But Big Ears is going to make an early appearance.
Okay, non-UK people, this is a cultural reference.
Yeah.
Feel free to Google it. Not for too long, though. Don't waste your time. Great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to.
Sounds good. Technically, that car will roast. We're actually sitting above it, but that car down there will roast most of those other cars. I mean, someone's going to have a race one there, right?
I would assume so.
There's always one.
The guys at Brands Hatch run in the Morgan Championship, so I should imagine they'll have their race cars there. Well, I hope they do. Yeah. I'd be really interested to find out what they've done. The car could do with a little bit more rigidity, and I'd be interested to find out what a roll bar does.
More wood.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the only. The craftsmanship is the only downside of that car, I suppose. It's got a decent chassis on it now, but the tub that you sit in is still made of ash, which means there's loads of twist in that. So there's lots of creaks and noises and groans and bangs that you just don't need to have anymore. But their heritage dictates that it's still there.
Yeah, it kind of works. I mean, my limited experience of it, it's more than suitable.
A lot of their cars are still on the road.
Yeah, exactly. Despite the escape hatch that's open behind you and when the door shuts.
Yeah, it can be gappy.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, another bit from the camera. Will it restart or is it going to turn off?
No, I think it's just doing it in chunks. Chunks.
Chunky chunks.
Chunks. That's a word that should never be used to describe anything.
What would it say?
Yep, starting again.
Yeah.
So this is the third time. He must be doing it in chunks.
Yeah, cool. At least it's recording. That's the main thing. Well done, little 360 camera.
Yep. Okay, so when are you going to be riding then?
Still as soon as I can. Maybe I'll get out tomorrow if it's depending on what I decide.
Yeah.
I need to get out. It's going to be sunny. I mean, this is it. Spring this year is, oh, look, there's some sunshine. Quick, bin off everything else you're going to do and get it in a car or a bike.
I wonder if everyone else is having the same experience. Like when I went to J&S yesterday, J&S Accessories down in Uckfield, there were a few bikes there, a few people out, obviously taking advantage of the limited time that we had.
Yeah.
I didn't get to ask them if they've been out much. some people have different schedules, not just a 9 to 5 like me. And, you have most of the time in the world. So,
yeah, I'm pretty privileged.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's been that bad. Has been that bad. And
not even retirement can get you out of this.
Oh, I know. If there's no sun, there's no sun. Although there was a glorious Saturday. It was an absolute glorious day. And I should have gone out in the car. But I had chores to...
Yeah.
I had to put in a soil pipe for a toilet. How exciting.
Enough of that. Yeah.
Exactly. Shit job.
Thank you. He's here all week. Okay, great. Well, that's everything from my list and more. Because we always like to give a little bit more on the MotoViews podcast to you, the listener, to understand our inane chat of what we've been up to, what kind of car-y stuff and bike stuff we were up to. Hope you're enjoying that as part of your makeup too. If there's anything you'd like us to chat about or discuss in the future, let us know. Nothing from my son this week. We've been talking about general car stuff, nothing new and unusual there, but he has admitted that he's now transitioned from liking ordinary cars to liking special cars a bit more. So
when you say special cars, what do you mean?
Something that more enthusiastic cars, specials, because previously he was just liking, hey, that's a nice Volvo C40 there. It's a bit dull, babes.
Yeah.
I appreciate people appreciate different things, but no, he's loving that, and I'm always on the lookout for any of his faves. So
I'm really excited for him to just be really successful in the motor industry in some way, shape, or form. Because I'm going to hang on his coattails and love all the cars that he gets to own and have. Because I've got a feeling that might end up being his passion. I hope so.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, and if you can afford to, can he be really super successful as well?
I'm working on it,
just inform him that's what I require?
Yeah. No, we do. I've structures in place.
Yeah.
So should we talk about sport? I'm 50-50 on sport. I'm going to do a micro capsule roundup on sport.
Go on, do that, because I have nothing to say. Not
okay.
really, no. Well, I do. But it's all about Lance Stroll, and it all has expletives around it.
Okay, well that's fine. But Formula One off track is possibly better than Formula One on track this season. So as at time of recording,
it wouldn't take much.
I don't know. No, the race for third is always good, or second. In fact, the race for second's good.
Well, yeah. To be honest, that's better.
And you have to doff the cap to Max's driving. It's just phenomenal to watch. When you see the picture-in-picture of him driving and then someone else on board, there's just no drama in his cockpit. There's no drama. He's just so super smooth. It's beautiful.
He is at one with that car, and there's no doubting it. I mean, I don't like the guy, but I don't
have to.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, he's an amazing driver. I'm not a huge Hamilton fan either, but he's an amazing driver.
So that's good. So what was the news this week was that Hülkenberg to Sauber, and obviously that was trumped on the same day of Newey saying that he's leaving Red Bull. So we don't know where Adrian's going now. Obviously, Adrian Newey is the most successful car designer in the history of Formula One. Now, currently with Red Bull, possibly the mastermind behind the whole 10 championships. I can't remember. But yeah, he's done well there and everywhere else he's worked. Is he going to go to Ferrari? Is he going to go to Aston Martin? Is he going to go do something completely different? Is he going to go to Audi? Who knows? Maybe he doesn't even know. But fair to say that whoever he is with will have a fair shot at winning. So
yes,
well, everyone's got a fair shot of winning, but maybe more fairer if you have Mr. Newey in your team. So that's good. Racing on track, yeah, fine, really good. Can't wait to see who comes second. And MotoGP is amazing. The last race at America was something like MotoGP at its best. 5-6 different leaders in one race, and comeback stories, rookie stories, another comeback story. It's just MotoGP is the best. There we go.
That's it.
Well,
That's a good summary. That's a good
I'll leave it there as
summary, I
those
have
two.
to say.
WRC was good as well, but and of course endurance is holding up. But I'm going to leave it there before I get too
That's how I can
down
tell,
that old rabbit hole.
I can tell you you've got more time to be watching.
So you could probably
stuff
remove
with
all
you.
of the equipment, and I can just still be staying here going, and then this other,
watch this.
and the British Superbike Championship's good this year because, anyway, I was just about to actually go into that, but I won't. So that actually started last week. See, I'm going into it. I'm just naturally going to talk about how BSB started for the first time in Spain this year.
Yeah, interestingly, we're booking up. We're booking up for brands.
There we go.
Booking up for brands to go to the British Superbikes.
At Goodwood.
No, funnily enough, we're going to go to brands.
But he said that's at Goodwood.
Brands actually more. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and get up to brands a bit more. But it's only 10 minutes away, so I should be doing and going to more events. My kids are grown up now. I don't have to drag them everywhere. If they come, they come. If they don't, they can stay exactly where they want.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Sounds good. Keep us up to date with all of those.
Oh, I will.
Maneuvers.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, there we go. There's another MotoViews podcast for you. Like I said earlier, if there's anything you'd like us to talk about, put it out there. We are here to demystify the car world for anyone who needs demystifying, or if you don't need the demystification service, you can just chat with us and we can talk about some of the experiences that you've had. But these are the things that we've liked to do. Hope you've enjoyed listening to those experiences. And until next time, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
That's right.
As well, subscribe,
Oh,
follow.
because we've got the camera now. We have to say that. Okay.
Oh, you meant to say at the beginning, I think. People, you drop it
no,
in the
you
middle
do.
in a really annoying segment to stop you watching.
No, that's the
thing you're already
advert,
watching.
isn't it?
Adverts as well. Although we'll get so few viewers, they probably won't bother with adverts. We'll be all right.
Stop saying that. It's really annoying.
Dear.
So-
I'm sorry. And on that note,
Fuck it. No, it's gone.
so don't pause for too long. I reckon I can get away without having to edit any of this so far.
No. Well, there's a few bits of edits you're gonna have to do. A few bits of drop-ins you're gonna have to do anyway. But at least that was a silent one. You can just cut.
Can't move on.
To here where or now. Just fucking up for you. But so let's park it there to use the catchphrase that I've struggled to remember. But before we go, also meant to add the podcast handles are at our MotoViews on Instagram.
Yes, indeed.
Mine is at MotoBurbs.
Mine is Julian_the views, both on Instagram and on YouTube.
And you can see those wonderful pictures of the Southside Car Hustle. Whatever I talked about earlier on there, and other great stuff. So yeah, please do what you like with all that information. And until the next time, be well.
Yeah, au revoir.